So today we went to Knott's Berry Farm to get our season pass for the hunt, and I always look up things of interest in the area while we're making trips. So I found something related to this area, the Cerritos Sculpture Garden. There's an interesting couple of stories affiliated with this Cerritos Sculpture Garden, and one of them is an airplane crash that occurred in 1986 in Cerritos, and it was a DC-10 jet airliner that was clipped by a small plane crashing into an elementary school right around the corner from here. And the DC-10 crashed into a neighborhood. It killed everybody aboard both planes and many people on the ground as well, destroying their homes. So we're going to take a look at the memorial to that incident. There's other sculptures here, obviously, as we walk around. This here is a memorial to the Cerritos airplane crash. I was in middle school when this happened. I don't remember it happening, even though I've lived in SoCal my whole life. So you see, people still put flowers and wreaths here. So they have two separate sculptures, the one on the left being for the people that were killed on the ground, in loving memory of our Cerritos families and friends who perished in the Cerritos air disaster, August 31st, 1986. And you can see the names. And on the other side, this is the people aboard the DC-9 Aeromexico flight 498 and the Piper Cherokee Archer II. So while I was reading the story of this crash disaster, I was looking at the story regarding the haunt. I was looking at the story regarding the hauntings that are occurring in the neighborhood that was impacted in this crash. So there's apparitions that occur in the morning and evening hours there, and a general feeling of eeriness in that location. They've since rebuilt the homes. If you look at the photos on Google, you can see that there's new homes where the ones that were blown out are in existence now, right next to the previous homes. While I was reading the story, it was interesting that on my random player, the song came up, The Big Crash from Eddie Money, and Come Back Down from Lifehouse. I thought that was kind of strange. I've had these kind of weird things happen before while looking up information, and I have a feeling that these people want to speak. So I'm telling the people that are going to Scary Farm this season, if you want to investigate potential real activity of ghosts, you may want to go to the locations I'm going to show you next. The other interesting anecdote regarding coming to see this monument and the locations of the crashes is that it's Labor Day weekend right now, and the event occurred on Labor Day weekend, 1986. So it's been 31 years since the event, 31 Labor Days since that Labor Day tragedy. Alright, I'm here at the neighborhood. This is at Holmes and Carnaby. And you can see how these older homes have like shake roofs and a traditional tile. And then right there, those two houses right there, I think maybe three, were hit by the plane as it came flying in. And it continued across past that intersection to that corner house. These houses have been since rebuilt. This is at Riva and Holmes. So it's come across an angle like that. This is where the plane landed on a whole bunch of people. And everybody in the plane crashed, died. And the people that got hit that were here died. There were a few survivors that were in the houses, but not many. So like I said, there's reports of apparitions here in the mornings and in the evenings, and a general feeling of eeriness. I've never done this before, and I'm a little bit skeptical about it, but being that it is Labor Day weekend, and I read about it on Labor Day weekend, and then realized the crash was on Labor Day weekend, and that I had my weird random songs playing on my media player, I'm going to give an opportunity here for any restless spirits to communicate with us. So if there are any crash victims that lived in this neighborhood that want to speak, I'm going to take a moment of silence. Go ahead and talk to us if you want to say something. I have my daughter here. The crash victims in the plane were from Mexico Airlines. So I'm going to have my daughter speak in Spanish to the victims of the plane crash.
¿Pueden hablar con nosotros? Quiero ayudar. ¿Pueden hablar?
Okay, so as we said, anyone that's looking for possible ghost activity here in Cerritos, if you're at Halloween hunt and you wanted to come up here in the evening hours or the morning hours with your equipment, this might be a good place to look. And we're also going to take you to the location of the small plane that crashed, killing the pilot, and perhaps that has some activity too. I'm at 183rd and Park Val in Cerritos. And right around the corner is the crash site of the small plane that clipped the DC-9. And it landed in the field of the elementary school. Right before that playset, right in the middle of that field. So occupants of that plane didn't survive either. It's right in there. So I'm going to try this again. If anyone that was the occupant of the plane that crashed in this field wants to say something, now's your opportunity. I've not read of any occurrences here at this location, but I just wanted to show you this other location. So the two planes, after hitting each other, landed in two different spots. And if you go right up the street there, what was it called? El Carmenita or Carmenita?
I think so.
Make a right on Carmenita and then turn right at the first housing tract in there. And another quick right, you're right at the location of the DC-9 crash. The other statue, get some of the other statues since I'm here. I'm gonna walk around. This is a beautiful location. If you're down in Cerritos or close by. Oh, here's a neat one. Statues of little kids having fun. Looks like Toto. Oh, they lost one here. They're either repairing it or somebody stole it or vandalized it, I guess. This one's weird. Statue of Freedom. Wow, this is a recreation of the original bronze by Thomas Crawford, which is the crowning feature on the dome of our nation's capital in Washington, D.C. Got a shield there. It's impressive. So this sculpture here is quite cool. If you look at the bell in the middle, the reflections on the bell don't reflect the shape of the triangles that you see below and above. And you go around, and that's true from every vantage point. You see a bunch of complex edges that change, whereas there's straight lines above and below. Hence the name Mirage, I assume. I think I'm reading this correctly. The top's got some curved edges in it that don't reflect the top structure. The bell looks different. Quite interesting.